Hey guys, what is going on? It's Jake, aka Parky1 here, and welcome to another episode of my FIFA 16 career mode. Now, you may notice on the screen now, we are in January. This is the main point of our season, and you'll see straight away, I'm going straight in for those contract expiries. And honestly, this is where our team's going to shine. Because as you can see there, I've already signed Tom Haitley from Slash Wroclaw. And honestly, he's going to be our starting CDM, I think, in the whole side. Then we go straight in for Marvin Sordell. I've noticed that I've been scouting him for a long time. And considering that his wage is only like 2,600, like, that is a bargain. But that's all the deals that we actually got done before our first game, which was on like the 4th of January or something like that. And it was against Watford in the FA Cup. And honestly, this was a tough game. But you can see the team we got here. We got Gogic, Kedziora, Johnson, Davis, Harris, Ryan, Phillips, Kiwamya, Sarcevic, Cole, and Ball. But Watford, they're not going easy. They're going well, it's not a full strength side, but it's not far off. I mean, they're playing Troy Deeney and Amrabat up front, and that's always going to be a tough duo to actually defend against. But they got Prodal at the back, so I feel like I felt like I could actually go against him. But here's Devante Cole with the first shot, literally just off kickoff. And Pantilimon does well to tip it over the bar. But Phillips gave the ball to David Ball there. And actually, it was Kiwamya. Excuse me. And Kiwamya couldn't actually get back on the end of it. And Kiwamya's beastly shot there, palmed over the top by Pantilimon. And he was having a stormer of a game. But David Ball here, I don't know what happened there. Because Pantilimon actually just palmed it straight to his feet. And then it got cleared. But Amrabat here on the run, and that is the closest Watford actually came to a shot in the first half. But yeah, actually I was wrong. That is the closest they came, and yet it was still a very tame shot. And that was all that happened in the first half. Like, no goals. Very weird game, because normally goals actually just come straight away in the first half. But 7 minutes into the second half, and Amrabat with an almost perfect free kick. Like, that was almost perfect. But we get a chance here with Devante Cole, and his tried and tested run, like going into the right-hand side of the 18-yard box, taking a step and smacking it across the keeper. And Devante Cole is so good at that. He is so good at that technique. Because as you can see here, 2 passes. I think that's Ball and then Sarci. I think that's Ball and Sarcevic, and then honestly, Cole, he doesn't miss there. But Ball, I was really surprised that he just didn't. He hit it way wide when normally he just hits it straight into the back of the net. But here we have Ben Watson with a corner, gives it to Prodal, and he was actually really unlucky there. It was a really good corner technique, but he actually heads it right into the side netting. But as you can see here, the final thing that happened in the game, Agate Johnson picked up an injury, and he's actually out for 3 months. So he was complaining about not getting game time. He's definitely not going to get game time now. But anyway, we finally got an offer for Chris Maxwell for Sligo Rovers, and it's 60,000. So I thought I might as well try and get his worth and try and go for the 70,000. And Sarcevic, he was getting offers left, right, and centre. I was not going to sell Sarcevic. You may disagree with me in the comments, but I must have got about 14, 15 inquiries about Antoni Sarcevic, and I am not selling that guy. Like, he is like the lead guy for assists in our team, and I'm not selling him. But I noticed this guy, and I noticed him, I think I mentioned him in a previous episode. Romain Sawyer is a 68 rated 24-year-old, and he's going on a contract expiry, so I didn't get that. And John Egan is a 67 rated 23-year-old, like, very good prospect. And I don't know why they're letting him go on like free contracts, but anyway, that's all the transfer business we actually got done before the second game. And that was this game is actually the first leg out of 2 against Shrewsbury. Obviously, we're away at this one, and they're putting out a full strength side yet again with their 5 at the back side. Obviously, Luke Viola, he's good at times but bad at times. But here's our side: we got Gogic, McLaughlin, Makowski, Bell, Murgia, Burns, Lewis, Grant, Vaca, and Sonogo. Now, Sonogo is our cup tie hero at the moment. Like, if I had to rely on one person, it would be Famara Sonogo. But they started out the better as James Wallace crossed the ball in. Some weird defensive duties, and as they run into each other and almost let them get a free shot on goal, but they actually shoot straight over the bar. But here's Mangan again, hitting the side netting from a long range shot. And they were putting the pressure on. But as you can see, we're already in the 38th minute with Bobby Grant. First chance of the game. I know it's a bit far out to try finesse, but he doesn't really have power free kicks. You can tell from his stance, and he gives it right into the keeper's hands. But here we go, Wes Burns. Nice run there, but as we know from Wes Burns can't shoot the ball. He's impossible to shoot with. And I'm glad he's on loan, because I'm getting rid of him at the end of the year no matter what. But I was so lucky here on the stroke of half time. Like, they were just about to go ahead. Like, they actually had the ball in the back of the net, but it was counted offside, and we went to the half 0-0. Like, luckily we were still drawing. We were still in the game. Because away from home, 1-0 down, that's a really tough position to be in. But we passed the ball to Vaca. Really poor keeping from Leutwiler. Really poor keeping, because it went right underneath his arm. Like, honestly, if your keeper did that in real life, you would be really, really angry at him. But as you can see here, Wes Burns passing it through to Vaca. Vaca shoots it right underneath Leutwiler, and honestly, what poor keeping that was. But Matt Sadler crossing into Akpro. And actually, you thought he was into Akpro, but James Wallace comes in at, like, right behind him and does a looping header from the back of the box. I mean, what a header that was. I was so annoyed when that went in. Like, because it was one of those goals where you just can't do anything about. Once that ball went over the top, you had no chance. As you can see, the ball went in, and then he just jumps over your man and loops it right into the back of the net, and no keeper in the world would have saved that. But Abu Gogo here with a free kick, crossed it into James Wallace, again with a header. But luckily Gogic managed to sweep it out straight to our defender. But then we went on straight on the attack, and Vaca there with a near post finesse, beating Leutwiler for the second time this game. And that put us in a winning position. Honestly, I was so happy at this point, because considering that we almost went 1-0 down before the half. We got, well, they got an equaliser on us, like, just after we scored. And then we got that. So I was so happy. I was so happy about that. Like, 2-1 in the first leg, and you can't really ask more. But there you go. There's the confirmation that Chris Maxwell has actually gone to Sligo Rovers for 70,000. They actually agreed on the upgraded price. And obviously you saw in the last screen there, but here's the confirmation. Marvin Sordell actually signed for 2,600 wage. And we got a 65 rated 24-year-old striker, like, on a free. But here's another player that I also mentioned in the previous episodes. I actually hinted at him. Sam Manton, 66 rated 23-year-old. He only wants 2,500 wage. And Adam Pazio, this is a guy I actually scouted. Like, this is one of that our scouts actually brought back. And it's 64 rated 23-year-old. There was a 65 rated 24-year-old, but I wanted to go for this guy. And I know it's Jacob Mellis. Like, I don't really know his actual level in this game, like his actual overall. But I noticed that he only wanted 2,500, and he's a really decent player in this game. I don't really care about rating. Like, his play style really suits the one that I'm actually going for at Fleetwood. Well, as you can see there, Sarcevic actually had another bid denied. But I actually had a recording problem in this game, and I'm just going to have to show you the highlights here. So actually in this game, Devontae Cole actually got a hat-trick. It's the first time he got a hat-trick in the series, I think. And it had to be the game that I couldn't actually record. And I don't know any of the players, I'm sorry about this, but like, normally the bars are up on the bottom, or it's something above their name, but I have no clue who that is. But all I can tell is that Sarcy there with a shot, great save by the keeper, but I can't really tell you anything more than that. Because all I know is my team, I know them by number, and yeah, that's about it. Because Sarcy has the ball here, you notice Phillips running through, but Phillips was way too slow, and he tries to shot, but it curls way wide. And honestly, like, this game, it would have been a really good one to actually highlight, but like, I don't really like this, but I mean, I thought it's better than just showing you the actual scoreline at the end. Like, I thought it'd be more truthful to you. But yeah, Devontae Cole there with his third goal of the game. I think that's his third goal, it might be his second. That was his second. Okay, so we're an hour in, and Devontae Cole here, like, just with acres of space. This is when I realised that I had a recording problem. Actually, I looked over at my recording software, and it was just like, it was just glitching the hell out. So like, I had no chance at this point. Like, my game was over essentially. Like, I was 3-0 up, and there was no point just resetting the recording at this point. I'd rather just go, like, set the highlight reel on, and Yep, they managed to hit the post there, which I was really lucky. I think that was Massey who actually hit the post. I actually recognised him. But yeah, we were really lucky there. And then literally in the last minute of the game, Sordell found some space there. Mikowski steps out and yeah, there's no stopping that. And that is the striker that will be coming to us on the 1st of July. So I wasn't too unhappy about that, considering that we're actually going to sign him. But here's another offer for Antoni Sarcevic. Obviously, you can see there we can ask her up to 1.1 mil, but I wasn't going to let Sarcevic go. I don't see the point. But here we go. John Egan actually accepted, but you can see his form's pretty bad at the moment. But I'm sure we can change that around. I'm pretty sure we can move that around, considering that we're going to have 5 centre-backs that we can just rotate in and out. If he's still in a bad form, then we can just push him out the game. We can send him into training, and that's about it. But here's Sam Manton, after a Sarcevic one that I denied again. But Sam Manton, a 2,500, 66 overall, 23-year-old player, and it is sorted. But here we go. We've actually got 60,000 more in our wage budget. In our transfer budget, sorry. And yeah, that really helped us, because honestly, we could just go straight for Jacob Mellis. We could easily just sign him straight up, because he had no qualms there. Alan Pazio, he accepted straight away, so I could just sign him straight away. And honestly, these transfers are going thick and fast. Because Christian Rubio, he's another player that I actually scouted on my other career mode that I don't actually record. That's just my personal one on who is it? Oxford United, yeah. Christian Ribeiro came up on my scouting report on that, and I really thought I'd bring it across. But here's Augusto, because Bob Harris is going to be leaving, and Augusto he's not the highest rated players, but I've noticed that he's a very, very good player to play with. So I reckon he'll be second fiddle to Amari Bell, but that's about it. But here we go in the 3rd game of the episode, and we have actually no, this is the 4th game of the episode, sorry. And we've got Shrewsbury with a 2nd leg, and I just completely skipped my team. But I noticed that they've got Maldonado and Kyle Vassell up front this time, and they've got Elliot Grandon in the middle. So this is obviously going to be a tough game for us. And yeah, considering that the first game finished 2-1, I thought this was going to be really tough. But here we go with Vaca with a little bit of dribbling. McLaughlin crosses it over, and Wes Burns, of all people, scores. It was a header. Obviously, he's so bad with his feet. He had to score with his head. Oh my God, I was so happy when Wes Burns actually scored, because it's the first thing he's done in so long, and then that just proves how bad he is with his feet. He just can't shoot. That was supposed to be in the bottom corner, but he just couldn't do it. And then we have Nick Houghton, who he decided to play in this game, and brilliant shot, but brilliant pass, palm wide by Lutweiler. And Maldonado here with a chance. He passes it off to Elliot Grandin, who just misses, and that's why I hate playing against Elliot Grandin. He has the potential to actually just score with one touch. That's all he needs, and that's what I hate about playing against him. But we go into the half 1-0 up, Wes Burns being the deciding factor. But here, David Ball hitting the outside of the post. I was so unhappy about that. Honestly, David Ball, if he scored that, I would have been really happy. But as you can see, everyone's knackered now. But Kyle Vassell finds his way through, and he does terribly. Now, he's the player from Shrewsbury who actually came up for non-league just recently. And honestly, that's the non-league inside of him. He actually just shot it straight over the top, and we actually won 1-0. And for some reason, I actually put this back in, because I don't know, you can see all the way around, Egan, Bantam, Pazio, and all them. You can see all the confirms there, because Augusto actually signed up. He's signed, and honestly, I had a plan, and it was actually a list on my phone. Honestly, it was a list, and it was all the players that I actually wanted in this side, and Sarcevic is obviously one of them, so I'm going to reject this, obviously. 725,000, you got to be kidding me. But then 825,000 straight after, but it's still nowhere near, and I'm not even going to sell him anyway. But yeah, I had a list on my phone, and it was literally all the players that I wanted in every single position, and that was just it. But that was just a snippet of how much money we're actually getting from the cup, and that was 60 odd thousand that we're getting in our transfer budget. But another 2 offers for Sarcevic there. There's no point even. I didn't want to reject all offers, because I've heard that that just affects his morale. Like, apparently it just doesn't like help him at all. So if I reject it, it'll keep him really, really happy. But here we go, Christian Ribeiro. He actually signed up with us. That's another centre-back, a 64 rated 26-year-old. He's actually a really pacey, really strong centre-back, and that really should help us in the future. Obviously, he won't be a starter, but he will be on the bench pretty much all the time. And our last game of the episode is against Port Vale at home, and we're playing Gogic, McLaughlin, Mikowski, Davis, Harris, Ryan, Kiwomya, Zambo, Grant, Cole, and Hennon. Obviously, there's quite a few players that I don't normally play in this team, like Hennon, Grant, and Zambo. Like, I'm not really... It might sound bad, but I'm not the biggest fan of Grant anymore. Like, Grant's really gone downhill for some reason. Like, the starting few games in the series, like, he was really good, but like since then he's really gone bad, and I don't know what the hell's gone on with him, but he just hasn't been able to do it. And Hennon, I just don't like him at all. But here's Devontae Cole running past his players, and great push wide by the keeper, but yeah, again, it was a very tame shot by Cole. But anyway, here's from the resulting corner. Mikowski here, and what a header that was. Like, I was actually thinking about trying to get this guy in the summer, because he's only on a 1-year loan term, and he's actually a 61 rated 19-year-old now, so obviously he's gonna progress a lot. Like, obviously, because Davis, he's only 61 rated now, and I thought he'd progress a lot more considering he's our starting centre-back. But Mikowski's really, really, like, got into it, and what a goal that was. I remember being so confused when I was playing this game. Like, Port Vale are they're my jinx team, and this just proves it. As a free kick comes in, it's lobbed over the top, no one heads it, but Dickinson runs around the back and manages to volley it into the net. I don't know how it happened, but it just did. But here's Devontae Cole with a brilliant run, slaloming run, and he hits it just inside the post to make it 2-1 just after the half-hour mark. And Devontae Cole, no matter what, no matter who comes in, he's going to be our star striker still, no matter what. Like, still my favourite decision of the whole series of not actually selling him at the start. Like, I remember I was offered a massive sum for him, but I was not going to sell him at all. But what a pile driver there by O'Connor. Like, O'Connor, like, I think that was his, like, second goal of the season, but, like, Kiwomya with a massive mistake there. Dickinson passed it off to, I'm not sure who that was, but he passed it off to O'Connor with a first-time pile driver, and that's it for the half. Like, I'm telling you, Port Vale are my jinx team. They are definitely my jinx team, because they had 3 shots in the whole game, and you can see that this is the third, and yeah, we went behind. This is the first time in a long, long time that I've been behind. But who was that player that I told you in the first game we played against Port Vale that I was going to be wary of? Theo Robinson. His pace is just electric. But that's it. We lost. It's the first game we've lost in like 13 games or something like that. But oh god, I was so annoyed. But Stephen Jordan, we finally had an offer from Doncaster. I thought, should I sell him for 90,000 or should I just accept it? But in the end, I do actually go and accept it. And because I just want to get him out of the club, really, because he's not going to play. He's not actually playing at all. He's on the decrease. Like, his rating's going down and down and down. So I just want to get him out the club. So that's an extra like 80,000 that I'll get on my transfer budget from that. And I've rejected another offer for Sarcevic. Like, but that's 625,000. That was ridiculous. But I think this is our third, fourth, maybe something like that training session. And Gozzi's actually gone up to a 66 now. So obviously he's passed Sordell and he's passed everyone. Like, he's almost up to the same level as Amiobi. And Amiobi, I honestly hate that guy. But this is going to be it for the episode. So if you like the episode, leave a like, subscribe for future content. And you know what, guys? See you later.